You know, one of the most important things you can express in your life is gratitude, man. Gratitude for the life the Lord has given you. Doesn't matter where you're at, how bad you think it is. The life that the Lord has given you is something that you should express gratitude for every single day, man. Every single day. Because just the fact that He allowed you to wake up again is a beautiful thing. It's something that I feel like gratitude is not something that people express enough these days. I think people, especially this world, has created this mindset where people just expect to have comforts and have pleasures and have all these things that, you know, even just a couple hundred years ago, were not taken for granted. They weren't regular occurrences. You know, people didn't just have air conditioning, food in the fridge. I mean, all these little things that people just take for granted on a daily basis are things that we should be grateful for. The ability to wake up every morning. I mean, that alone is something that you should be grateful and thankful for every single day. The fact that you can get up early, the fact that you can go to the gym, the fact that you have food on your plate for every single meal. I mean, all those little things are so important, and they really are just taken for granted. And I hate to see it. I hate to see so many people who just go through life showing no gratitude, no appreciation for anything. Just expecting, just expecting that they should have all these things in their life, My wife, dude, I'm so thankful and grateful for my wife, that I have such a loving woman who's God-fearing and who takes care of me, watches out for me while I take care of her. But, she does what she needs to do to be a good wife, and I do what I need to do to be a good husband. And that's how a marriage should be. That's showing gratitude. That's showing gratefulness for your situation, for your significant other, for your spouse. I'm grateful that I have a car that I can drive to work. I'm grateful that I have a job, I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to go make money for my family. Consistent opportunity. I have that same opportunity at the same time, 5 days a week. I mean, how freaking awesome is that, dude? How awesome is that? Yeah, might not be the most ideal situation. I wish I was making more money. I wish I had a little bit more freedom. I wish I didn't necessarily have to be at the same spot every day, but it doesn't matter. I'm still grateful. I'm still grateful for what I have, because I've been on the other side of things. I've been that person who didn't have a job and couldn't find a job and was searching for a job for months. I've been that person who worked a job that they absolutely hated, didn't want to go, didn't want to be there. And looking back on it, maybe I wasn't that grateful at the time, but looking back on it, now that I've changed my mindset and I've changed my way of thinking, I'm so grateful that I even had that opportunity. One of my first jobs was being a construction laborer when I was 16, 17, 18. And I did nothing but sweep all day, dude. 8 hours a day, just sweeping, picking up trash, sweeping, picking up trash. And man, I hated that. I hated that crap so much. It was like the worst job I ever had. So repetitive, so redundant, just mindless, man, mindless. And I wasted so much time just letting my mind wander off to stupid places, focusing on pleasures, focusing on, just need to put in this 8 hours of work and get some cash, go buy some weed, go get high after this or something, I don't have to worry about it. Go get high and then spend the rest of the day like that. Not have to worry about tomorrow. I mean, all that free time thinking, I could have been thinking about how to create a business, how to better myself. But it is what it is, Hindsight's 20/20, right? You can't go back and change the things that are already done. What you can change is the here and now, which will hopefully set you up for a better position in the future. That's why it's so important to find find gratitude and express it as soon as you can. As soon as you have that awareness in your mind and your soul and your heart that there is so much more out there for you than what you're doing right now. If you just take the steps needed to get to where you want to be, even if it doesn't feel like you're taking the steps needed, if you're just working hard, working towards another goal, working towards something bigger than what you're doing now, I mean, that's huge, you know? That's huge. That's so important. Even if you fail once, man, I mean, so many people fail at so many things, and if you just keep trying and trying to do it different next time, maybe you fail and you just give up and scratch it and start a new project. That's okay. You know, at the end of the day, as long as you're working towards something and working towards being better in one way or another, that's good. That's progress. That's taking a step in the right direction. The only thing is you can't give up, man. You just can't give up. You don't want to give up. The second you give up, the second you start backpedaling, it's the second you start slipping down that mountain that you've been climbing. Slipping down that sand dune you've been climbing, like I've been talking about. You know, I already said it once, but I'll say it again. Life is like walking up a sand dune, you know? And if you stop moving, the second you stop pushing to get up higher, you just start falling down, man. I mean, that's what sand is. It just shifts under your feet. And the world's always shifting under your feet, and if you aren't constantly trying to push back and push up and push forward, I mean, even if you just come to a place of stagnation, you're going to start going down the hill. You're going to start falling back down. Much less if you start backpedaling, dude. If you start backpedaling, you're going to go down that hill faster than you climb. That's the scary part, bro. I mean, it just, you could work so hard for years, man, and it could just take one bad decision, one bad day, one bad action to fuck the whole thing up, dude. I mean, years of work. And the only reason I know that is because I've done that shit. That's why I don't want to see you guys do that shit. It's a fucking waste of time, and it pisses you off, and it makes you feel even worse than when you started, bro. I mean, you can spend 2 years, 3 years building yourself up. You make one bad decision and you're in a worse spot than when you started 3 years ago. And man, that's the worst feeling in the world. That is the absolute worst feeling in the world. When you put so much work into something and then you just shit all over it. It's one thing for you to put in work and for somebody else to ruin it. It's another for you to put in the work and for you to fuck it up yourself. For you to just shit all over the work that you've done. God, that's the worst feeling in the world. And I hate to see people do that. And I don't want to see you guys do that. I want to see you guys get better. I want to see you guys grow. I want to see you improve every day. You know? So important. It's so important to improve every day, to look for room for improvement every day. And I'm not fucking perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I mean, man, I was just not being super nice to my wife yesterday. But the difference between me and most of these other guys is I notice it right away. I notice it. And I try and change my mindset right there. I try and change what I did right there. I try and fix it right there on the spot. I don't hold on to my pride. I don't hold on to, oh, maybe I'm right. It doesn't matter if you're right, bro. It doesn't matter if you're right. Like, when it comes to your wife, when it comes to your spouse, your significant other, it doesn't fucking matter who's right and who's wrong. What matters is that you are man enough to say, I still love you. It doesn't matter. I don't care how you talk to me. I don't care how you treated me. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to be here for you. And if you don't feel that way about them, then you don't need to be. They're not your significant other. You need to fucking jump ship. You need to jump ship before you just create yourself an even worse situation, bro. I mean, that's how people get into all these domestic violence situations. That's how people... I mean, that's enough right there to get you locked up for a long time, bro. I mean, and we all know. We've all listened to Wes. We've all heard what Wes said. You get in once, man, you can get in for a 90-day stretch. And then prison politics comes in and you're in there for 10 years. Next thing you fucking know, you're 5 years, 10 years, life sentence. You were just in there for a fucking DV charge, a weed charge, whatever it is. man, so much I could say right now. I have so much to say to you guys, and man, I just hope I'm able to say it all. I hope I'm able to say it all eventually. I hope I'm able to teach you guys so much. The big thing for today is express gratitude, man. Express gratefulness, thankfulness in all situations. Express it to the Lord, primarily God. But express it to your wife, your spouse, your significant other. And get yourself out of that mess if they're not your significant other. God bless you guys.